Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another What If. I am back, and a lot of things have changed, and a lot of my content is about to change. So, boys and girls, welcome down to a new story, a new path to the Star Wars community, and let's dive on in. Today, our new story is going to be about Obi-Wan Kenobi turning to the dark side in Revenge of the Sith. I hope you guys like and subscribe, and please hit the notification button so you guys can stay notified on my latest videos, as I'm about to be posting lots more. So, please get your popcorn and enjoy.
We're on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
Those words outraged Anakin. In that moment, Obi-Wan saw the dark side claiming onto him, as he heard he was not going to be ranked master, but he was going to be on the console. Anakin will yell back at Mace Windu saying, "It's outrageous. How can you be on the console but not be ranked master?" Until he was told to take a seat. Anakin, he would sit through the whole meeting. At the end of the meeting, everyone would have left. Obi-Wan would have followed Anakin. Anakin would have just been frustrated. Obi-Wan would tell him to go to a corner, and they would chat for a while. Obi-Wan tells Anakin that he's been assigned to spy on the Chancellor. He knew Anakin was not going to be happy about that, as the Chancellor was actually Anakin's friend. He was never a foe. Anakin was outraged about this. He didn't understand why the council had distrust on him, especially on the Chancellor. Obi-Wan would reassure him that whatever the council was saying he has to do. Anakin would beg Obi-Wan to not. But Obi-Wan, he was too stubborn. He said he will. And he has to do this mission, no matter what. He cannot deny it. And he's hearing that the council is thinking of having a meeting with Anakin again, but tomorrow. They both separate, as Anakin would probably go see Padme, and Obi-Wan will probably do some training or do some average studying in the library. The next day, Anakin will be assigned a mission to kill General Grievous, as they trust him enough to do it. Anakin will be still outraged from yesterday, and the thing of them spying on the Chancellor, his friend. But he had it to do his job. So he went on ship. He parted ways with Obi-Wan at some point, and he would have gone off to find Grievous in Utapau. Obi-Wan would have went to the Chancellor's office to greet him in respect, but also spying on him. Chancellor would definitely know, as he'll sense the presence of Obi-Wan's mind being on a conflict about it. He'll be intrigued, and he'll have a warm welcome to him. He'll be saying hello and how are you to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan would reply in the normal fashion of him, probably just saying he's okay. Obi-Wan would try and want to know what the Chancellor is trying to do and what is he achieving. But then he starts talking about someone very, very familiar to Obi-Wan, trying to mess with his mind, just the way in the original he tried to do with Anakin. Palpatine was talking about Satine. Satine's death would have played back in Obi-Wan's head again. He thought his anger, his frustration, his memories of her death was gone, but it was only rotting him insides, getting worse and worse. As Palpatine dived into her death, describing how Maul placed a blade into her spleen, killing her. It was all playing back. Obi-Wan realized what he was trying to do. He was trying to bring him to the dark side, trying to unleash his anger on him. Obi-Wan said, "That wouldn't work. I don't know what you're trying to do, Chancellor, but it won't work on me. I am a strong-minded individual." The Chancellor said, Good, Jedi." He was still taunting, saying about Satine. Starts describing about how Maul killed both of his two lovers. He killed Satine, and he definitely did kill Qui-Gon Jinn, his former master. Obi-Wan would have enough of this nonsense. He would have ignited his lightsaber, nearly piercing it to Palpatine's throat. Palpatine would smirk, grinning at him with his evil smile. The Chancellor would say, "I wouldn't do that if I was you. That's not part of the Jedi code, isn't it?" Obi-Wan would probably reply, "I don't care. You're going too far." The Chancellor would probably say, "If I'm going too far, I will teach you the ways of the dark side. For you to save someone that you truly care about. Nothing like Satine, nothing like Qui-Gon. Anakin. Do you want Anakin to join the dark side and become my legal servant? Or you'll end up saving his wife from child labor." Obi-Wan would be stunned, shocked, but he wouldn't be surprised. He knew that Anakin and Padme had a connection, but he never knew it was that deep, that they had a marriage behind his back, and they were expecting kids. How the Jedi Order expect this to happen, and how would they think of this too? Obi-Wan would put down his lightsaber. He'll be confused. He'll ask the Chancellor to explain, to carry on talking. The Chancellor will carry on talking on how Anakin has been a friend to him, and how Anakin has let out all his secrets from the council about how they don't trust him and how his life is going to get ruined after he has kids, and especially the death of his wife that he's having visions of in the middle of the night. Obi-Wan will be stunned that Anakin never went to him for guidance, but it does make sense on why he was meditating with Yoda a couple of days ago. Well, Obi-Wan said, "I'll do what I must for Annie. Anakin is my brother. I can't allow him to go to the dark side. I swear, if you have anything to do with this, anything to do with her death, I swear, I will end you." The Chancellor would say, "Okay, sure. But all I want is for you to be my servant." Obi-Wan would ask the Chancellor for a moment. He just needed a break. He'd just been in a crazy conversation, probably the most craziest one in his whole life. He left the office. Palpatine would have sat down, waiting for him to return. Obi-Wan would have rushed to Mace Windu as he was coming out from a boarding ship. He would have explained that the Chancellor is the Sith Lord they've been wanting for a long time, and that he revealed himself to him previous. Mace Windu could have told Obi-Wan to get the other Jedi, as they will be arresting the Chancellor for suspicions of being the Sith Lord. They would have went to the Council's office as they will open the door, seeing the Chancellor sitting down. Master Windu would ignite his lightsaber, saying to the Chancellor that he's under arrest. The Chancellor would ignite his lightsaber, spinning around, starts manslaughtering the other Jedi aside from Obi-Wan and Mace Windu, as they were the most experienced and far best. Obi-Wan was much more weaker to the Chancellor, so Mace Windu had to back him up in some parts of the fight. It became a 2v1. Palpatine started jumping around each table by one, each obstacle. He was more athletic, but he was taking more of an aggressive approach, while the others were taking more of a defensive approach. Until it was uneven. Until the Chancellor lost his lightsaber and started panting and starts screaming, "Forgive me, forgive me." Then Windu starts taunting him, or should he kill him instead of him being arrested, and that he's too dangerous to be kept alive. Obi-Wan would have flashbacks of little Anakin, or the first meeting of them, the first time their friendship, their brotherhood began. Obi-Wan felt the conflict of Mace Windu killing the only option to prevent Anakin from turning to the dark side. He had to do the one thing he swore not to become. He wanted just the best for Annie. Annie was his brother, his little one. He remembers the day when Qui-Gon Jinn told him to train the boy. His last final words, they still haunt him to this day. He had to do something. He ignited his lightsaber. He would have snapped back to reality until he saw Mace Windu deflecting electricity from Palpatine's fingers as Palpatine was de-aging into his normal form. We saw Obi-Wan ignite his lightsaber, telling Mace Windu to leave him now. Mace Windu was still saying no, and he's going to end this right now, end this war. Until the Chancellor got weak, Mace Windu was gonna slash him, but Obi-Wan pierced his heart. The Chancellor would electrocute Mace Windu, killing him and ending his reign as a noble Jedi, throwing him out of a window. Obi-Wan would start panting, stepping back a few steps. He will drop down on his knees. The Chancellor will reveal his new form, his proper form. He would have wore his gown and wore his hoodie up. His yellow eyes would spark. Obi-Wan, not full of rage, but full of determination, just for his loved one, Anakin, not to turn to the dark side, will only lead him to the dark side, just to save his loving wife, Padme. He did it for him. Palpatine will walk up to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan would be surprised on what he's capable of. This new power that's urging him to become something new. Palpatine would say, "Therefore he shall be known as," probably would come in the same words as Darth Kenobi or something like that. And Kenobi would be like, "Yes, Master. What do you like me to do?" Palpatine wished for him to lead an army of clones to the Jedi Council. And destroy everything, including younglings and his former friends. Obi-Wan said yes, and he must do what he must, just for Anakin. He walks out, leading the army to the council before the disaster would happen. Obi-Wan wouldn't hesitate, but just march to the Jedi Council, just for Anakin, so he doesn't go through the same thing that he had to go through with Satine, but with Padme this time. Behind closed doors, Palpatine messaged another clone from the same planet where Anakin was fighting off Grievous, and he successfully killed him. He told him,
"Execute Order 66.
And there we have, what if Obi-Wan became a Sith Lord, Part 1. Everyone, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for my next upload of Part 2. Good night.